Hear me?
Hi everyone, this is Women in Wisdom, our third podcast episode, and we're all come from Bob Proctor's Thinking into Results program, taught by Ewa Pietrzak, and we're all coaches from different parts of the world with different specializations, and we are also really good friends. And we are here because we cherish what we have, our friendship, our amazing connection, and we would love to share our knowledge and our expertise with you guys. So that's why we created this podcast. And today we're going to discuss the super exciting topic, and the topic is intuition. And so welcome everyone, welcome ladies.
Hi. Hi, Arta.
Hi. And I just wanted to say, like, the reason why I would really like to speak about intuition with you all guys, because it's so life transforming. It can, it helps us trust our inner guidance system. So it leads to better decision making, better choices in life, feeling better people, feeling places, situations. As a coach that works a lot with artists and creatives, I also see that art becomes a lot better when people start trusting their gut. It's more free, it's more alive. When we combine this information from the left brain with the right brain of intuitive impulses and creative impulses and innovation, then a lot of amazing things happen. So ladies, I want to ask you, did you have a situation in your life when you were like a little bit afraid, maybe, like there was something like a choice or a decision you had to make and your intuition was saying, hell yes? Maybe your rational mind was holding you back a little bit, but you went for it. And then something really great and interesting and life-changing happened for you. Can you share with us your moments of trusting your gut and having some breakthroughs and changes in your life?
Who's gonna go first?
Yes, I see that you're ready for it.
I use it a lot with friendships, but of course we use it all the time in our lives. I think it's something we do subconsciously, but we kind of suppress it, and we think we're doing everything with our mental thinking, but actually we don't. I think we use our intuition all the time, don't we?
Well, maybe let's start with what intuition really is. I had an opportunity to observe it while I was negotiating, and in the beginning it was, oh, come on, I'm not going to tell people that I have the intuition not to do that or to do that, right? Oh, come on. It's not rational. But I remember that finishing the meetings when I had this bell ringing in my head, don't do it or just go and do it. I was not aware what was the real reason why I have this voice in my head. And after the meeting, I used to analyze what was happening there. And I was always perfectly finding the reason, the real rational reason why I should not or I should do make this decision.
So your
always,
intuition,
and it was perfect.
So your intuition kicked in first, like an impulse, like no,
exactly,
and then your rational mind catched up with it. Oh, cool.
That's it. And I started to dig what it really is. The intuition. Intuition is the emotion. But this emotion comes from comparison of what we really know, but perhaps we don't remember that we do know that. And the thing that we see, the trigger, the situation, the circumstances, and then the intuition compares what we really know to what we see and experience. And then the intuition is telling us, hey, this is good, or hey, this is wrong. But it really works perfectly.
Oh,
mine was a life-changing. When I recall the time when I really had to listen to my intuition, it's absolutely life-changing, and I still at times don't trust it. Even though I know that my intuition speaks to me, there are times when I'm like, is that right? Is this true? Should I follow that? But I know when I'm open to it, it will tell me exactly what I need to hear. And so my example is, it's a really painful one. It was when I separated from my family. So it's really, really painful. I separated, and all I wanted to do was go back because I missed my children so much. It was like really killing me. But I had this intuition that just kept saying to me, you're not going back. You know, you'll be upset, you'll be crying, but you're not going back. And this would happen day after day. And I was fighting it inside, saying, no, this is too painful, I'm going to go back. And this would happen day after day, like for weeks and weeks. I didn't go back, and I knew that I couldn't, you know, but it was a very, very strong intuition within me. And so I know that at times when I don't listen to it, this is actually such a good reminder to say it's there. It's always speaking to us. We just need to be open enough to hear the wisdom in it and not let our logical mind take over. You know, when we start thinking too much about, is that right? Is that what I should do? Is that true? Should I follow it? Should I not follow it? When we start thinking too much, we block that intuition.
Exactly.
And yeah, so I always feel that intuition is like something that's inspired, something that like appears, and if you have the courage to go ahead with it and stick to it, it can just be so magical.
That's where all the truth lies, isn't it? Because all the answers we want is inside us. It's just a matter of believing and trusting that it's the right answer. For me, I can say that I wasn't really in touch with my intuition, because even though, as you said, I was feeling it, sensing it, but I was doubting it all the time. Is this the right voice? What if this is wrong? I was mostly functioning from the logical space. And then what I do now, because I've worked on it and I fully trust my intuition, but every now and then when I get that thought, I automatically ask myself my intuition for clarity. So I ask for guidance. So when I'm in doubt and I have different voices in me, I try not to entertain that thought for so long, because we know very well how the mind works. And if we entertain certain thoughts for a few more minutes, then the thoughts become more emotionalized. So I stop myself and I just ask intuition, guide me, which is the right way to go. And of course, then I say to myself, okay, now I'm ready to receive. And of course, it always works.
How do you know, Arlette, you're ready to receive?
Because I want to believe that it's coming, because we know very well the importance of belief. Because if we don't believe, we're not going to have access to our intuition. We need to believe that it's coming.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? How do you guys
I wanted to share with you my first leap of faith, because I had a career transition. I never believed I could be an artist because I was raised in a rational family. So being an artist was not really an option. It was not encouraged, but my intuition was whispering to me all the time softly, hey, there's more for you. There is more fun. There is more joy. There is more creative work available for you, and you'll be fine. So when I was 26 years old, I moved abroad. Well, actually 24. When I was 26, I started the second round of studying in the art school. So I transitioned from business school, working in corporate environment, to studying art and becoming an artist. Then I went to New York City. I was showing my art in Brooklyn, in Amsterdam, you know, this whole, like this leap of faith, which was extremely scary at the moment, with all the limiting beliefs about being an artist, with the pressure from the family to have a more secure path in my life. But I followed those nudges, and I mean, the journey that was unfolding out of that was like absolutely amazing. And the coaching work that I'm now doing with fellow artists. So from there on, I knew that I can trust it, that if that voice speaks to me and I feel opening there in my body, if it feels right in my body. And the next situation in life when it was very big transition was when I started working with my intuition coach after making 2 bad decisions in 1 year, abusive relationship and wrong choice of business partners, or creative partnerships, which cost me a year of a year of my time and a lot of heartaches and betrayal. And then I start working with my intuition trainer, who connected me with my body, reconnected me with my body and how I feel, so that I can have a very good social intuition about people before, problems happen. So that's from my experience. That's why I'm so passionate about this topic, and also hearing your stories and spreading this wisdom in the world.
I love what you said about the body, because it's so true. For me, intuition's just always been a part of my life. It's always guided me ever since I can remember. And then I started really honing it and really practicing how to hone that ability probably when I was about 18 years old. So I've been doing this for quite a while. And so intuition and the body and trust for me go hand in hand. So you've all kind of touched upon that, and I love that, because when we get our inner wisdom, we get our insights, but if we don't trust them, then they're of no use to us. And so what I notice with my clients as a clairvoyant and guiding people to their creative power, to their conscious creative power, it's always within. So I notice that people are looking for intuition and guidance outside of themselves, when it's really who we are. It's intuition, right? We go within to find it. And so when we bring that awareness, like you said, Arta, back to the body, then we have the ability to feel our environment. So the feeling body for me is really key for intuition. And I'll give you an example. I don't have like this big leap of faith experiences, but it has definitely protected me. So I lived on the road before 2020. I was living the van life for over 3 years. So I was constantly tuned in and intuiting my environment, so I would know where to stay that night, where's a safe place to park so I could sleep, so what lane do I need to be in, what exit do I need to get off of, it's like, should I wait now to get gas, or should I get gas now? So all of those things constantly, it was a really fascinating time to really be in that all the time. You can't let that, you have to be connected to that. So for me, intuition is being at one with yourself. And when we don't trust our intuition, we're not trusting who we really are, the power of who we really are. And it's such we have to flip this mindset of operating from the brain, which really has a very limited capability, and operating from the heart mind, where the intuition really resides and is connected to everything.
It's beautiful. Beautiful, Brie. Absolutely. Michaela, what about intuition in terms of relaxation?
Yeah, I am a relaxation trainer, so I have really funny stories, because I think if you somehow can train it in your world, in your daily in your daily habits somehow, would you say? So I noticed myself, I'm going into a shop and I'm going there and make the shopping, and I think, I have to take bread, and I think, oh no, I have bread at home, I don't need any bread. So I don't buy the bread and come home, and my bread was bad. So it's very funny, but I really don't know where it's coming from, somehow, and even somehow my intuition is telling me, I have to go this way and not that. And I ask myself, why do I do take this way, and why do I take the bus of the train? So, and somehow the trains don't drive, you know, and then I take the bus and I see, and I read, oh, the train don't go. So that's very funny. That's the little things in life that happen, where you could train your intuition, where you can see how it works and how do you talk yourself out of it, you know, because the intuition is somehow like a little inner voice, and the train is to make it bigger and to trust it and to hear it really, and don't have this part on yourself that's talking you out of it. Why should I take this bread? I have bread at home, and then it's talking at you. And if you say, okay, I take this bread, and you come home and you see, oh, that's why I'm take this bread. And right now, somehow yesterday it happened. I want to go out, and my intuition said, take a bag with you, a shopping bag. And I say, why I don't want to go shopping. Why should I take this bag with me? So I don't take it, because me, myself, I also don't somehow hear every time of my intuition. So, and I don't take the bag, and I'm going out. And for my boyfriend, I have this, I don't know how to say in English, this little something to eat, something sweet. So, and it's raining, and I don't have this bag, and now, oh, I need this bag to put it in, that it don't get don't get in over the rain. So
wet,
and wet. Thank you. Yes, and that's very funny, because I say, oh, that's the point. I don't listen at it. And so I really learn more to hear about it and do the thing without asking myself, why should I do this right now? The answer somehow is coming later. And yeah, I don't know. And even as you said in your business, there are also this voice, and we have this fear somehow, and we're talking ourselves out to be aware, and also to be somehow aware. I also teaching awareness, and awareness on I think awareness is the key, is really the key to everything, because you have to be aware of this noise is talking, your intuition, and to be aware of the voices coming and tell you, no, you don't need the bag. No, that's my point of intuition.
I love it. Talking about entrepreneurship, I had many times the same kind of situation when I call it a lazy mind, would tell me like, oh, grab some dinner, sit on a couch, or take some ice cream and relax because you're tired. And my intuitive voice was telling me, no, show up on this webinar. There's something like a sort of intuitive pull that tells me, no, don't sit on that couch, get on that webinar. I know you're tired, but there's something there. And bam, and a new client, you know, just like a fellow attendee of that webinar connected to me on LinkedIn. In 5 minutes, I had a new client, basically. I had a sales call the next day. And this is like what Michaela was saying. It works the same way in business. It really does. And of course, in creating art, it's an amazing thing to find this balance of information and intuition, because that creates the most beautiful artworks. The balance. People who are overthinking and stuck in their analysis, like they just start creating copies of the existing things. There's nothing new, nothing fresh, nothing interesting about it, right? Super nice.
I would like to look at this subject from a different angle as well, because, you know, we in this society, in this world, we have learned to trust only the things that we can see, the things that we can prove, right?
Rational. Yeah.
So and that's exactly the problem. Intuition is so powerful, but you can't see it. You can't prove it. So this is why so many people and so many people that are our clients or friends or families or even strangers, people just want proof all the time. And you cannot prove intuition. And it's only afterwards when you give your trust towards the little inside voice, the feelings that you feel. Only afterwards you can say, oh, aha, you have this aha moment and you're like, oh my God, it's really working. My inner voice was right. So I guess it's a problem of the 21st century, maybe. I don't know.
I think that it was very interesting because the other day I was reading an article from University of Leeds, and they've done so many studies on intuition, different studies. I mean, you can check University of Leeds, and the article was saying that our intuition is much faster. We sense things much faster than our brain. Our analytical brain observes it and actually feels it, understands it. So our intuition is much more intelligent than, it's what Brie was saying, much more than our logical mind. And they have done some experiments, and it was the ones that were following their intuition. There were changes in their physically. There were changes on their arms, on their body temperature and all that, and they ended up taking better decisions in the study, the ones that followed their intuition. So it's quite interesting, and it was very helpful and hopeful for me, because I share this with my clients, and with the hope that it will strengthen their belief in our intuitive
but honestly there is nothing to believe, because intuition was created by the evolution to protect our life and integrity of the body. So thanks to intuition, fathers of our grandfathers survived in the jungles and were not eaten by some animals, right? So it was intuition whispering, now escape. Right?
And
it was saving lives. Of course, it's much, much faster than thinking brain. If the person, imagine that the car is going in front of you, and if you would stay and think, what should I do now? You would be smashed.
Yes.
But if you trust your intuition, you simply escape and you save your life. And honestly, nothing happened. The car passed by, you're here, not a big deal. But perhaps you are here and the car passed through here
because of your intuition.
Your intuition.
Oh well, I feel that I feel now that I am actually a lot more intuitive already after our podcast episode, and I think the whole day will be very intuitive after our conversation. So I would like to wrap it up. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing your knowledge and your experiences. And thank you, everyone who was listening to us. And we'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Arta.